Mhm.
right? Real estate. And we don't we don't know a damn thing about houses for the most part as an agent. Like, it's the difference between buying your car from a mechanic that you know versus a salesperson, right? There's there's a difference between what a car guy knows about cars. That'll go, oh God, you don't want to buy the 2008 F-150s. They had a different engine in there, like they're garbage. Like, go for the 2009 and later. They switched it. They did this. They did, like, you would never know that unless you were a car guy, right? Um, and it's I found out the same thing for houses that holy cow, because I've ripped apart houses to the studs and redone everything. Like, I can spot a shoddy job instantly. I
Mhm.
can spot homeowner upgrades versus a flip upgrade instantly. Um, and especially looking at houses that need work, like, there's no fluff with me. I'm not your fluffy realtor who's gonna, who's selling you on a house. I don't think houses need to be sold. And I've been in sales my whole life. Houses sell themselves. Me as an agent, my value add to you is the process and knowing the product, right? I know new home construction, I know the different builders and the timelines in which they build and the corners that they cut, and everybody cuts corners. Don't let anybody fool you out there, from the most expensive homes in Cherry Hills down to the new townhomes being built in Northeast Aurora. Everybody cuts corners. Why? Because a lot of times that's where you make more money.
That's right.
That's it, right? You go to a mechanic and he's got to replace your alternator, and the book says it's going to take 4.5 hours. His goal is to beat that 4.5 hours. How does he do that? By doing it from underneath and like not taking apart, the top part of your car, which normally needs to happen. He can get a crowbar in there and move something out of the way that allows him to do it in an hour and a half.
Mhm.
Now they're making real money, right?
Yep.
And so it was that transition that I realized, okay, I can make X amount of dollars by helping traditional buyers and sellers, which apparently I'm good at because I know the products more than most. And then I can step out. How does it look to step out of doing the rehabs myself? And that's when I learned one of the biggest lessons of my life is that paying a GC 10 to 20% over the rehab will get the job done quicker and better than I ever could.
Love that. Right? It is so tempting for newbies, um, or cheapskates, or even normal people to wanna cut that corner, and that's a hell of a corner to cut, where
Yeah.
you think you're gonna be the general contractor, you're gonna be the GC. That is a skill set that, takes years,
Yeah.
and you need a broad knowledge base. You also need licensing.
Yeah.
Also, there's not many general contractors, right? This is where I'm, old man lawheads coming out, but the generation, the newer generation that should be coming up and replacing these general contractors, well, they want to build the next app, right? They don't want to build the next house.
Yeah.
Construction is dirty and hard and sweaty, and you're hurting cats. You're hurting subs, which is
Yeah.
harder than hurting cats because, well, one, you got to. It would help to speak a few languages, right? At
Yeah.
least speak Spanish. So yeah, and speaking from experience, I've GC'd my own deals, and I've paid a GC to do my deals, and I haven't done the volume you've done. I've done these, just, I don't want to say hobby, but on the side when the
Sure.
opportunity presents itself. Um, I won't ever skip or cut a GC out of it again,
Nope.
and I will never ever not pull permits and do it right. Right. That's another crucial thing that I think new flippers and new real estate investors think they're going to save money on. I don't need to pull permits. We'll keep the inspector out of it. That inspector is just going to cause us trouble. That inspector is going to save your butt.
Yep.
Right. That inspector is there for a reason. And yeah, you could bitch and moan about some of the drama that they might impose, but also there's a reason this code exists, right?
Yeah.
It's not a grand conspiracy. Well, it's a conspiracy to keep houses upright from them
Mhm.
collapsing in on each other, starting fires.